Alright, so guys, Forsaken just dropped a trailer for their Guest 666 and Veronica update. So I decided, just like how I did with the Nolly update, to go ahead and collect all of the sneaks that I could find. And also, please consider subscribing because only 8% of people are, and it means a lot. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and get straight into the video. So first off, we're going to go over the trailer. So we can see Veronica skating away, and then Guest 66 going over a wall. And then it cuts to what I assume is a new map. And then we can see Guest chasing back after Veronica and starting to charge up an ability. And then we can see a Headless Horseman statue, which might tie into the Halloween event, which I'm going to go over later. And then we can see Veronica getting grabbed, which I assume is from the dash ability that we saw him charge up earlier. And then we can see yet another map right here, which we also have another render for, which I'll show later. And then we can see Guest's kill animation, where he just basically rips off their head. At least I assume that this is his kill animation. It would be kind of dumb if it wasn't. And then the release date is revealed, which is on Halloween. We don't know the exact time that's going to come out though. Okay, so now that we went over the trailer, we're going to go over the survivor coming this update. And this survivor is Veronica, which you saw inside the trailer, and she is a survivalist. And if you don't know, the two other survivalists inside the game are Noob and 007. So first off, of course, this is what Veronica looks like. And we have a bit of knowledge about how her moveset is going to work. She's going to be using a skateboard along with spray paint like graffiti. I assume she's going to have a bunch of different things that she can spray paint, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be one of them. In this clip, we can see somebody using Veronica, and it looks like you have to flick off of objects, because you can see right here they turn towards the rock and then bounce off of it, and then they stop skating, and it says at the bottom, spray some graffiti first. So my personal theory is that you're gonna spray these graffiti around the map, and then it gives you basically a zone that you can skate in. But obviously this isn't confirmed, this is just my theory. And then they also showed this sneak for her milestones, and it kind of looks like she gets kind of corrupted throughout the tiers. And also, we don't really have a lot of sneaks for Veronica. Maybe they'll release some over the next couple of days, but I don't really know. But we do have a lot more sneaks for Guest 666, who is going to be the next upcoming killer. So of course you guys can see him in his render right here. I'm just going to refer from them from this point on just as Guest, because saying Guest 666 over and over and over is kind of annoying. But as you can tell, Guest is pretty big, so you might be wondering how he's going to fit on some of these maps. And it has been confirmed that a lot of these maps are going to be changed, and they had to rework the whole collision system basically just for him. And of course, that's not the only reason why. As you guys can see inside these clips, Guest has this ability where he basically can just leap. So as you can expect, a lot of maps have been changed in order for this to actually be able to happen. Now, I didn't get a recording of this, but the devs did confirm some things for Guest's M1 ability. So Guest's M1 will do the same amount of damage as any other killer, but it will apply an effect, but they did not state it. And that can be followed up by holding down your M1 to do a little dash forward that does 10 damage if I remember correctly. And of course, he is going to have a custom kill animation with Noob, because if you didn't know, Noob and Guest have some lore together, which is also confirmed that they're going to have their own custom LMS against each other. And then we can also see this clip, which I assume is when a Guest lands his leap ability against you, where Guest would go ahead and do like a beatdown. And it's also confirmed that Veronica and Guest are going to be getting their milestones this update. And then we also have one sneak for his milestone skins, which is this. I don't really know what it is, it's just his concept art. However, there is this older sneak, which may not still be like active, and it was this skin for Noob that had a Guest 666 design on it. And I don't know if it was confirmed, but it was at least rumored that if you were to get milestone 4 on Guest 666, you would also get the skin for Noob. And also in that same post that Forsaken News posted, they also stated that there's one more Limbus Company skin coming this update. Itoko might have just been joking when they posted this instead of sub announcements channel, but they did post a picture of Don Quixote from Limbus Company, so that is probably also the most likely character to become a skin, because it's probably the most popular character from the game that's not inside Forsaken yet. And while we're on the topic of milestones, here's this clip that I got from the Q&A.
I will say this. Most of the milestones that we confirmed a while back will be coming. However, some of them are a bit slow on progress right now. So there is a chance that it's mainly Nolly.
So it seems like a lot of characters that haven't really had proper milestones for a while are going to finally get them. Besides for Nolly, who may not have a chance to get his this update. They have showed us the Milestone 2 and Milestone 3 designs, which honestly look pretty cool. I'm not really the biggest fan of Milestone 2, but I like Milestone 3. And as we can see from this text that says, a performance was demanded of me, and now I have delivered. Encore. The milestones are going to continue to follow Nolly's theme of like performance. And speaking of these milestones, here's a photo of one of the tiers of John Doe's milestones. And speaking speaking of John Doe, I don't know if this is confirmed to be inside this update, but he is planned to get like a little remodel soon. So this is what it looks like, and it looks pretty clean. And speaking of redesigns, I don't know if this is even coming to the game at this point, because this message is pretty old, but this game takes forever to update, and it might have just been canceled in general, and it probably has a high chance of not coming this update. And there was, or maybe still is, a planned 2-time redesign. Okay, so now going back to the Halloween event that I mentioned at the start of this video, there is a planned Halloween event called Robloxia's Masquerade, and Forsaken did actually post like a little video showing off a bit of this event. So as we can see, there's a variant for the Yorick's resting place map. And then you can see Chance goes in here, and there is this bucket of candy that he picks up, which gives him some currency. And then you can see a bunch of Dusakar skins right now, and I'm pretty sure only one of these is like a new event skin. And then we can also see guests inside the window. And then we also have this clip of the bunker being opened on the side of the cabin. And as you guys can see, this bunker has like a Halloween theme to it, but that might just be because of the lobby. It was also stated we still have a few more tricks up our sleeves, and maybe a sweet treat too. This might have just been hinting to the fact that there was a Halloween event coming up, or maybe, in my personal theory, is that this bunker is going to be used for the Halloween event. I'm guessing that the whole bunker is going to be decorated, and that you're going to be able to spend the currency that you get for the event in there. Like, there's going to be a special shopkeeper, and maybe there's going to be the statue of the Headless Horseman in there, or probably most likely that's going to be its own map. We do have 2 confirmed maps from the Discord, and this is the first one right here. The text Hitoko added to it was, "Don't forget, cakes are best had with family and friends." This is probably supposed to be a reference to something kind of like Brandon Works, but I have no idea what this is based off of. And then we have this other map right here, which looks like kind of like this temple, and we can see Noob sitting up there. And thanks to Forsaken Noobs, we can see a brightened up version of this. And now that the image is brightened up, we can see that there's a bunch of paintings, and there's also chairs in the sofa. And obviously, since Noob is inside this photo, this has to relate to him. And with that, it also probably relates to Guest. And we also got news that the most recently hyped up skin is coming to the game, and it's the admin skin. This skin is based off of Minecraft story mode, which is also where the white pumpkin skin is from. This skin literally has everything, like a custom intro and outro, and legitimately custom animations for everything, but I'm not going to show them inside of this video, because there's already a video going over all of the custom animations, which is by the guy who made this skin. And then there's also another custom collab skin coming from a game called The Battle Bricks. And the tweet says, "You replaced me, killed me off, but you didn't account for my return. Whatever happens next, just know you made me do this." And this is like the teaser render that they made for it, so it's not going to be the actual skin render. Now, while I haven't played the game yet, I assume that this is probably like some enemy or ally that you betray who comes back later into the game as like a boss. And then Legacy Noobs Milestones are coming back to the game, and then you're also going to be able to get Legacy Milestones after they like leave the game and the new ones are added. And then the I Has a Face Lols collab is still being worked on, however it's not confirmed if it's going to come out in this update or not. And then this Genesis Noob skin might be coming back to the game or something. They also just posted this image of guests inside a car. And if you're wondering if different game modes are coming this update, they said inside the Q&A that they aren't.